Hello and welcome to another edition of MLB Pro Happy Hour. I am your anonymous GM. Today is the final day of the MLB Pro regular season. What does that mean? That means we're going to hopefully figure out who's going to win the NL Central today. It means we have a chance to figure out who will win the NL West today. The Dodgers, the Giants, the Reds, the Brewers. 2 spots, 4 teams. Well, actually, we already know the Giants and the Dodgers are already in the playoffs, so they're good. It's just a matter of who's going to win the NL West, whereas the Reds and the Brewers, winner makes the playoffs, loser goes home. We're going to find that all out very, very shortly. Matt, I'm ready for you to start simming whenever you are. Let's get to the games at hand. I'll be able to tell you guys the lineups here in a minute. Waiting for the play ball and the sim page to be shared with me. Guys, give me 1 second here. Looks like we're getting the play ball now. We're sharing screen, so I should be able to get this to you guys very, very shortly. Bear with me here for a second. Alrighty, it looks like we're good to go. We have Bryce Bandia on the mound for the Giants in their tilt with the Dodgers. The lineups at hand, the Dodgers are going with Juan Hidalgo, Jurickson, Profar, Garcia, Kemp, Gilbert, Trumbo, Solano, Chris Volstad, and Luigi Rodriguez. The Giants are countering with Maben, Posey, Carlisle, Hale, Pardo, Panic, Segura, Crawford, and Bandia. And the Giants quickly fall behind to the Giants 1-0 on a Jurickson Profar home run. The Dodgers, of course, have a 1-game lead on the Giants heading into today. If the Dodgers win the division. Over in the Central, the Brewers hold the Tigers down in the first inning. 1-2-3, it appears, for the Tigers. The Reds could be in trouble here. The Pirates have runners on the corners already against the Pirates. And the Pirates do not waste any time, frankly, scoring 3 runs quickly. That puts the Reds in a bind early on. Of course, they are tied in the division with the Brewers, pardon me. The Giants respond in the bottom half of the first inning. Buster Posey, the face of the franchise for so long in San Francisco, with a 2-run homer. The Giants will take a 2-1 lead to the second inning in the battle for the National League West. Quick look around the rest of the league while we're in between innings here. The Astros with an early 1-0 lead on Baltimore. Baltimore with the bases loaded in the bottom of the second. The Angels and A's tied at 0 in the second. The Mariners and Rangers 0-0 in the second. The Twins 2-0 leaders on the White Sox early on. Tampa Bay and Toronto scoreless in the third. Boston and New York scoreless in the second. Kansas City 1-0 leaders on Cleveland. The Dodgers, here we are, quick response with a 2-out double. Luigi Rodriguez plays Gilbert and Solano. The Dodgers back in front on Bryce Bandia and the Giants 3-2. Full count here, and a walk to Juan Hidalgo puts 2 on. Brings back up Jurickson Profar, who homered in the first. Bandia is able to get Profar on a line out, stranding 2 runners. The Giants trail the Dodgers 3-2, middle of the second. Taking a quick look back over in the Central, no runs in the second inning between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. The Pirates still lead 3-0. The Brewers got a run in the bottom of the first. I missed that one. Sorry about that. The Brewers lead 1-0, middle of the third inning there. Back in Cincinnati, the Pirates strand a runner at third, had a chance to go up 4 runs. It remains 3-0. The Brewers with a 1-out walk to Chris Burnett. Adam Eaton up to the plate. The Brewers are facing the Tigers' Brett Anderson. Anderson walks 2 in a row. Puts runners at first and second with 1 out for Ryan Braun, but Anderson is able to induce an inning-ending double play. The Brewers will continue to lead 1-0 heading to the top of the fourth. Giants, Buster Posey, productive out, pushes the tying run to third base with just one out. Pierre Borges up. 3-1 count, and he is lost to Chris Volstad. A walk puts runners at the corners there. Unfortunately for the Giants, hot-hitting Anthony Hale grounds into an inning-ending double play there. The Dodgers hold on to their 3-2 lead. Milwaukee still trailing. The Reds picked up a run there in the bottom of the third inning off the Pirates. A Brandon Short single scored Billy Hamilton. 3-1, middle of fourth. David Chester leading off the bottom half of the inning for the Reds. Keeping an eye on the Central here for a minute. We have end of 4 in Milwaukee, 1-0 lead there. David Chester first out, strikes out. Jacob Julius pops out. That's 2 outs for the Reds here in the bottom of the fourth. Dustin Pedroia up, and Pedroia strikes out. 1-2-3 inning for Chris Scalise and the Pirates. The Pirates lead 3-1 after 4. Milwaukee currently leads 1-0, middle of 5. By the way, the Tigers do not have a hit. Keep an eye on that. The Dodgers continue to lead the Giants 3-2 after 4. Tawan Walker, by the way, 9 strikeouts through 5 innings for the Red Sox. The Reds with a leadoff triple here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jonathan Lucroy. Haranda strikes out for the first out. That brings up the pitcher with a runner at third base. A crucial at-bat here for Tommy Hanson. Full count to the pitcher. And he draws a key walk. That brings up Billy Hamilton. But Billy Hamilton is unable to bring in the run, and Brandon Short grounds out a batter later. The Reds strand a runner at third base, continue to trail 3-1 heading to the 6th inning. 3-1 count, make that bases loaded for the Tigers here. Michael Sharp up with 2 outs. Shelby Miller is the first 2 hits of the game he's allowed here in this inning. And a walk, his 5th walk of the game for Shelby Miller, brings in the tying run. Bases remain loaded for Ryan Zimmerman. Miller again falls behind the count 3-1, gets a ground out, though that game is tied at 1, middle of the 6th. The Dodgers with 2 on here for Chris Volstad with 2 outs, top 6. Dodgers continue to lead 3-2. Volstad strikes out. The Dodgers lead 3-2, middle of 6. Milwaukee, a runner on first base on a Ryan Braun walk, brings up Esteban Hernandez, 1 out. And Hernandez doubles. Brett Lowry walks. We have the bases loaded for the Brewers with 1 out and Rossell Herrera up. Herrera is 1 for 2 on the day. And he smacks a ball deep into the outfield. Double. That's a bases clearing double. Ryan Braun scores. Esteban Hernandez scores. Brett Lowry scores. Brewers 4, Tigers 1. Just as that happened, Anthony Hale, a solo shot, ties things up in San Francisco. Dodgers 3, Giants 3. The Reds are in trouble. They trail 3-1, top 7, as the Brewers lead 4-1, now 4-2 after a Mitch Moreland triple. Scores a run with no outs in the 7th. Of course, the Reds need the same result at worst with the Brewers in order to extend the game to 163. A Colton Wong sac fly scores Mitch Moreland. The Tigers quickly score 2 runs here in the 7th, cutting the once 4-1 lead down to 4-3. Joey Votto flies out, though, but we have a key injury here. Esteban Hernandez leaves the game after a defensive play. It is unclear the extent of the injury. The Dodgers, after a 1-out walk to Jurickson Profar, have 2 on, first and second for Javier Garcia, who flies out. That brings up Matt Kemp. We have a pitching change for the Giants. Familia coming into the game. Again, it doesn't take long, though, for the Dodgers to take advantage of the pitching change as Matt Kemp mashes a single, scoring Juan Hidalgo. 4-3 Dodger lead heading to the middle of the 7th. It's stretch time in San Francisco. Back to Milwaukee. 4-3 lead still. Cincinnati gives up another run to the Pirates. They now trail 4-1, top of the 8th inning. 5-1 after an Anthony Rizzo single. Again, the Reds' chances are fading in a hurry. They need runs from the Tigers, and the Tigers are now down to their final 3 outs as the Brewers lead 4-3, heading to the middle half of the 8th inning. Back in San Francisco, a Buster Posey groundout ends the 7th. The Dodgers lead 4-3, top 8. We're going to focus here, though, on Milwaukee as we're heading to the 9th inning here in a minute with 1 out in the bottom half of the 8th inning for Ryan Braun, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. He gets his first hit of the game. That is a single for Braun. Where did that game just go? David Chester, 2-run homer, cuts the deficit for the Reds to 5-3. The Reds are not going away easily. But here we go. Top half of the 9th inning. Brewers 4, Tigers 3. A win guarantees the Brewers nothing worse than Game 163. It also guarantees them their 81st win of the season. Addison Reed comes in the game and immediately gives up a leadoff walk to Ryan Zimmerman. That is the tying run at first base. Norm Horm, sacrifices. The Tigers now have a tying run in scoring position. Jerry Sands strikes out, though, and a batter later, Addison Reed shuts the door. The Brewers win. That gives the Brewers the inside track at winning the National League Central. But again, we go back to Cincinnati. While we were watching the 9th inning in Milwaukee, the Reds got another run, made it 5-4. We're heading to the bottom half of the 9th inning in Cincinnati. The Reds need at least 1 run to force a tie-breaking game tomorrow. Mark Melancon, the much-maligned Mark Melancon, is in. He is pitching to an Erinori Arai, pinch hitting, and he quickly strikes out. Max Ramirez pinch hits. He makes an out. That is 2 outs. And that is your division. The Milwaukee Brewers, National League Central Division champions. Congrats to them. It appears we missed the end of the game in San Francisco. I apologize to that. The Dodgers hold on 4-3. That means the Los Angeles Dodgers are your National League West champions. So the Dodgers clinch the West. And the Brewers clinch the Central. That is a busy day we have here. We're going to follow out games. We'll just quickly, we still have games, then we'll take a look at the playoff picture here in a minute. But we have a bunch of tie games in the 9th. The Indians and Royals tied at 2 in the 9th. The Angels and A's tied at 3 in the 9th after the A's scored 2 in the top half. The Astros lead the Orioles 4-2. The Nationals lead the Rockies 8-4. The Cardinals are currently shutting out the Chicago Cubs 7-0. Nomar Mazara strikes out with the bases loaded with 1 out in the 9th and is unable to bring in the winning run, but a batter later, Caleb Cowart single, scores the winning run. The Angels win in Anaheim for Game 162. The Angels, of course, won the American League West and are headed to the playoffs. Top of 10, Cleveland, Kansas City tied at 2. The Indians, the first 2 runners on there. Elsewhere, Dave Smith is dealing for the Cardinals. Smith, 7 2/3, 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts against the Cubs here so far. That is another walk to Julian Garcia, Smith's 2nd walk of the day. The Cubs are not pinch hitting for Michael Fears. They want the season to end. And fires quickly, grounds out, heading to the 9th inning at Wrigley Field. The end is near for Wrigley, for the Cubs fans, and the long season in Chicago. Back to Kansas City, the Tribe failed to score in the top half of the 10th. The Royals with 2 on here in the bottom half. For Kyle Goodell, and actually make that Chris Fletcher pinch hitting grounds out. We're heading to the 11th in Kansas City. What do we have here? Chicago, bottom 9. Dave Smith is back out there. Can Smith nail down the complete game shutout? 1 out. Carlos Miles grounds out. Dustin O'Neill flies out. Didi Gregorius is up with 1 out remaining in the Cubs and Cardinals season. Dave Smith, complete game shutout. That is his first win of the season. And correct me if I'm wrong, is that his first career win, perhaps? The Indians strand a runner at third base in Kansas City on a Russell Nicholas strikeout. The Tribe and Royals tied at 2, bottom 11. Danny Williams pitching to Jake Jeffries. 3-1 count. He's lost on a walk. Trevor Story is being pinch hit with Ryan Wheeler. Wheeler singles, bringing up Jason Hayward. Hayward flies out. The runners were unable to advance, though, but it doesn't matter because a batter later, Paul Arrington single, scores Jeffries. The Royals notch another victory for them this season. Let's take a look at things here. Give it a second. Let me see when my screen reloads here, when Matt advances the game. Give me a second, everyone. Let's wait this through. Let's wait this through. He's taking a look at something. 1 second. 1 second. We're almost there. We have our playoff schedule. No games on Monday. Tuesday, the San Francisco Giants will travel to New York to take on the Mets. And the day following, October 3rd, a Wednesday evening baseball, the Toronto Blue Jays travel to Seattle to take on the Seattle Mariners. The winner of the wild card game in the American League will go on to take on the best record in baseball, the Baltimore Orioles. The Los Angeles Angels will host the Minnesota Twins in the other American League Divisional Series. Over in the National League, the Braves await the winner of the Giants and Mets, while the Dodgers will host the Milwaukee Brewers in the other National League Division Series matchup. Quick recap for the season. The most wins goes to the Orioles and Angels, 102-60. The American League East, the Orioles 102-60. The Blue Jays finished 5 games back. The Blue Jays finished 3-7 in their final 10, 97-65. The Tampa Bay Rays finished the year at 85-77, 17 games back. The winners of 7 of their last 10. The bottom of the barrel in the American League East, the previously, I can't think of the right word for them, the preemptive historic favorites of the division, the Yankees and the Red Sox, respectively, finish 4th and 5th of the division. In the Central, the Twins, 98-64, win the division by 6 games over the Kansas City Royals, who do notch a 92-win season for the Royals, an impressive year for that team. Potential American League MVP in Gary Sanchez. The Chicago White Sox finished the year at 68-94, 30 games out. The Cleveland Indians, 63-99, and the Detroit Tigers finish at 61-101, 37 games out of first place. The American League West featured the Angels atop, with the Mariners a 100-win season after their win today, 2 games behind the Angels. The Rangers another year above 500, 84-78. The A's finish at 72-90, and the Astros a much improved season at 70-92. In the National League, the Braves at 96-66. They're going to limp into the playoffs a little bit. They've winners of just 3 of their last 10, losers of 3 straight. They did win the division by 3 games over the Mets, who finished at 93-69. 2 other teams in the NL East finished above 500. We had the Nationals at 84-78, the Phillies at 83-79, and the Miami Marlins at the bottom of the National League East at 72-90. Congratulations not only to the Milwaukee Brewers for winning the National League Central, but also finishing the year at 500. It's about time a team in the Central got back to 500 after a year in which it felt like no one was ever going to get there. The Brewers, 81-81, 1 game ahead of the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds finished the year 4-6 in their final 10. The Cardinals at 74-88 finished 7 games out. The Pirates 70-92, 11 games out. And the Chicago Cubs, well, they earned the number 1 pick in the 2019 draft at 53-109. The National League West came down to the final series of the year between the Dodgers and the Giants. The Dodgers winning the final 2 games of the year, win the division by 2 games. They finished the year at 89-73. The Giants at 87-75, again 2 games back. The Padres, they came on hot at the end, winners of 3 in a row. They finished 3 games out of first place at 86-76. The Rockies, of course, struggled here in September mightily. A disappointing finish to the year, but a promising future ahead. The Rockies at 83-79. And while They finished 75 and 87, 14 games out after last season, picking first in the draft for the Arizona Diamondbacks. A very promising and successful season for a team compared to where they were last year. So congratulations to the Arizona Cardinals. By my estimation, that would mean not only do the Cubs pick first, we have the Red Sox picking second, the Tigers third, the Indians fourth, and the White Sox fifth. We heard out of Houston their desires to pick in the top 5. They're going to end up picking 7th, one spot after the New York Yankees, pardon me. Taking a quick look around messages, let's see. Someone sent me, who was that? I had a message here a second ago. Where did it go? Now I can't find it. Sorry, I clicked on it. So whoever PM'd me there, if you want to do it again, go ahead. Just taking a quick look around here. It's tough to see who the favorites are. The Orioles slumped a little bit here at the end. The Angels, of course, are without Jordan Lyles. It appears Brandon Morrow's question more. Ryan Copeland finished the year hurt and missing a couple starts. So the Angels starting pitching has been decimated by injuries. It will be interesting to see how they match up against a Twins team that finished the year winners of 6 straight. We have the game Wednesday night between the 97-win Toronto Blue Jays and the 100-win Seattle Mariners. I believe the Blue Jays named their starter earlier today. I believe it was Michael Pineda, and I believe we have the American League and MLB Pro ERA champion Nathan Eovaldi on the mound for the Mariners, so that'll be a terrific matchup. I'm not quite sure who we have on the mound just yet for the Mets and the Giants Tuesday. Again, National League Tuesday, American League Wednesday. I think I'm going to shut up here and let Matt get the file up as I'm using sharing his screen, so he can't really do much as I'm blabbering on. Let's get a file up, and I will be back with you guys probably tomorrow. Worst case Tuesday, if this works for Matt on his end, to share screens again Tuesday and Wednesday for the 2 wild card games. I think we'll do that, and we'll do as much of this as possible during the playoffs, both with live broadcasts and previews. I'm hopefully going to have a couple articles up for you guys in the next couple days. If people have hot takes they want to send in anonymously, of course, for playoff matchups, it is tremendous help for articles. So with that, I'm going to sign off here. Much appreciated everyone sticking by and enjoying another episode, hopefully, of MLB Pro Happy Hour. It's been fun doing this with you guys here for this first season of Happy Hour. I look forward to extending this into the playoffs and beyond. Thank you guys. Take care. Have a good night.